Hey guys, Riley again. So in my previous video we covered everything in the toolbox menu. Now we'll go over just about everything in the other menus, and I'm going to make this a continuation of that other video as well to find out where we can check the voltages in this combine and some of the data management stuff as well. So let's get right into it. Right away we're going to kind of overview this main menu. So over here we have toolbox. This is what we went over in that previous video. Then we have diagnostics, data management, run screens, performance, calibrations, VT, combine information, procedures, and automation. So everything that we covered in toolbox still applies. We want to bop into there. We'll, it exactly resumes us where we were before in this menu. So if we want to access anything, we'd just select that menu. Then if we want to go to diagnostics and view our version information, this is where we'd view it. And then the next tab over, that's our CAN. We can view everything on our CAN communication, and say we have UCM1, we want to know what software it's on, that's how we can tell right there. And we can scroll down and look for a specific module. If we want to know what version our grain cam's on, we can see that right there. If we also want to know what version our receiver's on, you can see that right there. And we can also see our nav controller version here as well. If we have any faults in this system, we could go through them here. We want to look at our different fault lists. So if we have any engine faults, we could select them from that list there. Select active alarms, nothing. Active errors, we have concave motor active error. Display, kind of went over that before. Engine faults history, we have a couple different communication faults that happened a while ago, and we haven't started the machine yet, so that's why we have that def issue happening. And then error history, see that as well in here. It's always defaulted to display, so you'd see all of your GPS faults, and then if your display was full of storage, you'd have those faults popping up in here. You just scroll down, go through the list. If you want to know more about a little bit of a fault, you go click on the fault in the white box, and then you hit fault info, and then it would tell you about the fault itself and how many times it's occurred and when the last time it was, when it occurred. All right, moving on, we have settings. So this is pretty important if you want to see any voltage ranges in the combine. So say we want to look at our rear axle sensor, and we want to see what voltage it's at right now. So I'm steered perfectly straightforward. It should be right around that 2.6, 2.7, 2.5 range. And if I were to steer this left or right, you'll see that range kind of expand left or right. Don't have the machine started, can't really move the axle, but if I was moving it, you can see I held onto the steering wheel. I did move it a little bit there, but if you do turn it, it'll go to the end ranges. So like I said, there's a heck of a lot of options in here. You can also check your moisture sensor, steering wheel motion, maybe that's a better one, right? So moving the steering wheel, and we can see that when I'm not moving the steering wheel, there's no voltage. There's a little bit of voltage. When I move it, you'll see the other end. So it just kind of senses if there is motion. And if you want to stop measuring it, you can stop the graph right there. But just, you always want to be within, if you have a bad voltage, it's going to be below or above these blue lines. All right. You can also check different units on some of the different parameters. Allows you to check that right there. So RES tab, this tab lets us know if we had a USB plugged in, how much storage we had used on it, how many grower farmer fields we have on a specific machine, and if we're reaching our limit. So over here we see our remaining and used. So this one's been completely wiped out, so nothing has been used on it. GPS tab would tell us how many satellites or what signal we're currently seeing. GPS 2 shows us what satellites we're tracking. The RDI page, that's more for if you wanted to switch your GPS configuration onto